What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bies. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by the reps. If you're brand new, what is up? I'm so glad that you are here, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will have already clicked that subscribe button and decide to stick around a little bit longer. If you've been here a while, thank you so much. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to everybody that is subscribed, comments, watches, all of that. I appreciate every single one of you. And shout out to all of the members. This video was sent to me, and I appreciate the individual that sent this my way. I keep everybody anonymous unless you tell me otherwise. And that's for your safety, pretty much. So this is a Plexus recruiting video. And yeah, we're going to react to it. It's going to be probably pretty juicy. Anyways, I am blind reacting to this. I've only watched the first couple minutes like I typically do. And yeah, so buckle up, drop your commentary below, and let's go.
Hi, everybody. Angela Pattison. So we're going to start with what we just started doing just today. And we're going to go ahead and say this prayer over us and over our business from Psalm 67 and Psalm 90.
Wow. Okay. I'm pretty sure that that's a record as far as spiritual manipulation. Apparently, spiritual manipulation has entered the chat. Here we go.
May God be gracious to us and bless us, so that your ways may be known on earth, your salvation among all nations. May all the peoples praise you, God. O Lord our God, let your favor rest upon us. Come work with us, and then our works will endure. You will give us success in all we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Imagine not being a Christian, getting on this opportunity call, Zoom, and then starting with this. Imagine how uncomfortable that would be. Nothing against Christianity, nothing against your religion of choice. That's your thing. But when you combine it with MLM and, you're starting an opportunity Zoom this way, it's a little weird, in my opinion.
I love that. And I actually have a song I wrote about that. Okay, so
what?
I am going to be talking about recruiting and developing new business builders. And as most of you know, I'm an emerald here with Plexus. I have been doing this for 2 years. And at the very beginning, what took off in our business was excitement and belief in not only what the products were doing, but then seeing how amazing everything was with our culture, our team, and the opportunity, and all the things. So I just want to start right there. Number one, and by the way, get out your pen and your pencil, because you're going to be writing down some nuggets here. Especially, I'm going to interview Deborah in a little bit, and you're going to get to hear from her amazing, some of her story.
Okay, so this is not an opportunity call like I thought it was. This is a team training. I love this for us.
But y'all, when I first started, we just took off, and that was what started it. It was really more than anything because I was so new. I was still learning and earning at the same time. I didn't know half of what I was doing, but I was so stinking excited. I was so much filled with belief for what this could do. We had gold in our hands to give to everyone. And so it just happened, right? And then after hitting like a year later or whatever, and things happen, and there kind of has gotten to be I've still stayed excited, but there's gotten to be a place where I sort of felt a little bit stuck, if you will, even though I think that's a mindset. I know that it is. But the thing is it felt like, man, I need to grow more. I really need to start growing and not just get into management mode. And
first of all, I want to talk about how they talk about feeling stuck, because I remember feeling this way. I remember feeling stuck in my business. It's not a business, but that's how I felt at the time. And basically, I feel like that phrase is thrown around as a way to manipulate people. And what I mean by that is when they are doing these types of trainings where they're talking about feeling stuck, and they're trying to encourage people to personally develop more. That stuckness, if you will, I feel like is the majority of people that are losing money or not making any at all in multi-level marketing. And they're just trying to use that to emotionally manipulate people that are feeling frustrated with the lack of results, that are feeling frustrated because they don't see money coming in, that are feeling frustrated because maybe they're not getting the results that they thought they would get with the product or whatever. And they're trying to emotionally manipulate those people to get them thinking it's a mindset problem or a personal development problem, or they just don't believe in the company, and they'll use those kind of things to drive people to the next event.
And really just started looking to grow more and building new business builders, recruiting new people. A lot of you have probably seen and heard the videos. There's so many out there that Brittany recently did on going to Mexico, right? And making a list of 50 people and starting to reach out more. And I just wanted to share a little bit of what I've been doing. So again, number one is really just thinking about, if you're not excited and if you need more excitement and belief, that's number one. Get excited. Get excited, show your excitement. And that, if that means you need to start studying more and learning more, or seeing more testimonies every day, or looking at more videos, get stinking excited.
Only in MLM are they encouraged to be on like this all the time. And when I say on, I mean like excited about everything, and everything is great, and feeds right into the toxic positivity that we see in a lot of these MLM companies, and specifically from the leaders and how they interact with their people on their team. It's fascinating to me. You know, it's okay to be tired. It's okay to not be excited. It's okay to have bad days. I mean, it sucks, but you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to fully embrace the human experience and to feel all of the emotions. It's all right. It's a very human thing, you know?
Be showing up excited, telling your people what this is going to do for them, and have belief. You can build it if you don't have it. Okay. And so that is number one, is building that belief. And then part of that is I have been diving more into mindset and dealing with if there was a lack of excitement, and it was because I felt, oh, I'm going to be stuck. Oh, I've hit my limit of people. Oh, these dumb little thoughts that come to your mind, right? And
those are not dumb little thoughts. That's the truth. You're going to run out of leads. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, or what I was talking about a few minutes ago. They try to paint this picture like it's just mindset or personal development for the people that are experiencing feeling stuck. You're stuck because you have run out of people. You're stuck because you're not getting the results that you were roped into this scheme with. You're stuck because you're not making any money. And that's where they try to double down, in my opinion, and get people to do personal development or attend the event, or we need to work on mindset training. Have you tried meditating? And it doesn't change the business model. It doesn't change the fact that math shows us, I think it's like 13, like you run out of people in the world, like 13 levels deep or whatever. I can't remember that. You guys probably do, but you're going to run out of leads. And for the people that don't have a large following, they're going to run out of leads even faster than somebody with a large following. That's why some of these people in MLM, and I'm not saying this person does that, but that's why people in MLM like to go after some of the influencers on social media, because they have a large following and they're going to make a lot of money quickly off of that person and their following.
I dug into the mindset issues, and guess what? My excitement went up again. And getting into action, of course, cures that, as we know. Also, recruiting skills, watching videos, training, action steps, and then planting seeds with everyone is got to be like 100% attracting new business builders. You've got to start planting seeds and telling everybody about the business. So what I started doing was posting more about the opportunity again. I realized that I don't know if lazy is the right word, but I was just kind of like not posting about the opportunity as much. And I was like, I got to start posting more about the opportunity and reaching out specifically about it, not waiting until after they've been on products so long or whatever, although that's fine to do that too. I started reaching out to people just for the business more. And it works. So I started doing that. I was reaching out more about the business. And
this is supposed to be training, but it is so vague. She talked about action steps, but didn't give any action steps. She talked about reaching out, but didn't give any specifics around it. And then said it works, but didn't give any specifics around that either. MLM training is so vague. It's nothing but a rah, let's get fired up and excited and then go live afterwards and talk about what we learned. That's essentially all these types of trainings are, in my opinion.
And about the opportunity, having more business conversations, as we know, it's been a big topic lately. And this has been huge for me. But I also started reaching out more to people who have been on the products, who have not. Actually, some of them, I was either scared to talk to them about this because I just assumed they weren't going to be somebody to do it, right? Or I just hadn't done that. And I've been going back to those people. So I have two new people who might even be on this call that are amazing, who have been for a long time ago signed up for the products, right?
Imagine being those two people on this call, listening to her talk about the tactics, that she is using on the two individuals. Imagine what that must feel like.
Stopped using the products at some point, and it had been a long time. I went back to them recently and I realized I want to cast vision with them. They could be amazing with this. And so these two amazing friends of mine, one of them lives close and we met in person. The other one I got on the phone with. And the thing I have realized is that I had to start stepping out of my comfort more. So that is going to be my next point. You've got to step out of your comfort. If you're too comfortable, something needs to shift and change. You will grow if you start doing more scarier things. For me, getting on the phone more had to be something I had to do more, doing more videos, meeting up with people for just the business. Oh my goodness, unheard of. And that's what I've been doing. And I actually have one tomorrow, another phone call, and several more meetings this week, because I'm realizing it's so true what Christine has been telling us. She says, look at your calendar. That's going to tell you where you're going. How many calls do you have set up to get on the phone with people? How many appointments do you have set up? And yes, events count too, but that was all I was doing before, was a Zoom or an event. When I made this extra step, I've been having some more success that I wasn't before. And that has been a piece that has added to this. I know many of y'all have also been doing this too. So good job.
This is such chaotic energy. It takes me right back to when I was in an MLM and I would be on these Zooms. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's such a great idea. You get all hyped up and then you get off the call and you're exhausted. I just wonder if this person is exhausted after this, because the energy is so just chaotic is the best way I know how to describe it. I don't miss those days. Not one bit.
So show me your calendar. I'll show you where you're going. And I have been asking people, and I'm going to go over a couple of things here. So I've been asking for the call, getting on the phone with that person. And so what happens is I'll reach out and cast vision, tell them what I see in them, tell them the reason why I think I've thought about them. And not only do I know these products are going to change your life, but this opportunity will change your life if you want it. I will help you. I've helped many be successful. I've been able to have some success here, and I know where I'm going. I'm going to take you with me if you want to go there. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of boldness I've been having more of, and telling them, this is what I'm seeing in you. Do you want to hear more? I'd love to jump on the phone and talk more. And a few people have said, yeah, let's talk. And so that's what we've done. And I've asked if they're interested and they're going to sign up. And then again, I say, hey, let's jump on the phone. Let's meet in person. What's your cell phone number? I'm going to set up an appointment. When's good? That's exactly how I do it. Somebody asked me today, what do you say to get them on the phone? Hey, what's your phone number? When can we talk? That's what I say. I'm like, legit, there's no other option. When can you talk? We're going to talk and we're going to hook you up. I mean, that's what I'm doing with products with people too. But I have been just going for it. And sometimes there are some people, you have to beat around a little bit and be like, hey, tell me, is it a good time this week? Could you possibly jump on the phone? Would you be open to that? And that is totally fine to say it like that. Would you be open to jumping on the call? And I'd love to share more. And then I explain why, because I see that this can change your life. And then when I meet with them in person, this is what I've been doing. That's been a little bit different than what I was doing before, not just talking about the products and only about that. I hit on that for a minute. Then I start asking them, what are your goals? Tell me what your dream is. Tell me what your why is. Like, and I get talking not just about the amount of money, but what could this do to change your life? And I know we've heard Michelle and Brittany and Christina and others say this all the time. But
the only reason that, in my opinion, MLM people ask that of people they're trying to recruit is so they know how they can emotionally manipulate them. They paint this picture like they are a business coach and they're going to help you every step of the way and just follow my steps and you're going to be just fine. But when that person experiences that feeling of stuckness, if you will, being stuck, however you want to word that, they bring back, well, this goal, like let's just say their goal is to make an extra $500 a month or whatever for their family, for what, maybe it's something specific, a vacation or something. When that person starts to question, that MLM leader is going to go back to, oh, well, that $500 a month to take your kids on that vacation, that's still important to you, right? And it's designed to get that person working again. And I'm using the term working, but what that basically means is you need to message more people. You need to get more people on your calendar. You need to start setting up more phone calls. You need to start doing, more events and just trying to get them back on that hamster wheel is probably the best way I know to describe that.
That is what I've been doing. Y'all, if we just start doing these things, it's going to work for you. And you absolutely can develop business builders. Some of them are people like these two ladies who had not even been ordering anymore. Both of them, I said, let me tell you something. Not only can I show you how to get your products covered and you're going to get better results because you're going to stay on them, but guess what? We can see this change things for your finances. And
oh, okay. So the reason that it sounds like, I'm not stating this as a fact, the reason that they're no longer on the products is because it was too expensive. And it sounds to me like she said, well, maybe we should look at, you joining this business so you can get your products for free and then also earn an income. And that's why they're on the call. Her friends. That's what she's doing to her friends. Let that sink in for a second.
And then when I got on that call, met in person, they're both jumped in now wanting to do this. Watch the 101 video. And already I'm getting in conversations with one of them with people that she's already talking to. I'm helping her make her first post. I'm helping them with messages. These are the things we have in place for y'all. And if you need those resources and tools, we will give them to you. But this is absolutely the way to building and developing those people. And so let me.
The way that she just described that is no different than the It Works host to post or the Optavia Wayday posts, where they're just trying to tap into that friend or social media friend, follower, whatever, their friends. That's all that is. So they might be wording it completely different. It might be called something completely different, but it's the same process. It's the same exact thing that we see over and over again.
Jump down here in my notes. Okay. Also, of course, when they sign up, get them on a three-way call, please. If you think there's potential, especially if for some reason they can't, at least do a three-way message. But I'm telling you, third-party validation is king. Okay. So and of course, with other countries and stuff, I know that we've had that, Wendy, where sometimes there's a situation where they can't get on the phone all the time. You can definitely have a third-party validation in different ways, or setting up Zooms or whatever. But
three-way calls or three-way chats are not about third-party validation. This person that you're introducing your upline to, they don't know one another. So all of the bragging that upline is going to do, hey, I'm a car earner, hey, I'm this, hey, I'm that, none of that matters to that individual. The only reason that you get people on a three-way call or a three-way chat is to do high pressure selling tactics, because that upline is going to put pressure on that person because they're not going to feel guilty about it, in my opinion, because they don't have that close relationship to the friend that has been brought into it. So that's the only reason three-way calls and three-way chats are done, in my opinion.
You want to have third-party help, and you want to use the tools and the systems that we have in place for you to use. Let me go here. So I am gonna, let me see what time we have here. Okay, it's about time here to interview Deborah. But this is the thing, y'all. I started doing more scary things. I started talking about the business more. I started being more bold. And the more I've heard like some of these amazing diamonds, right? And how they've shared recently with us, the more I'm realizing, man, why not me? Why not so-and-so who I made excuses for why she wouldn't want to do it? Why am I doing that to that person? This could change their life. And I stepped out of my comfort and went there. And just today, this happened with a lady. I've shared about the products with this lady for over a year and a half. I never thought she'd want to do this because she's in the military and there's all these reasons I've built up in my mind, but she's actually amazing, has a lot of influence. And today, I reached out to her and I said, you know what? I know we've talked about the products and I asked about stuff about her family. I was like, but how about we jump on the phone? I'd love to share with you about this opportunity. She said, tell me more about the opportunity. Yes, we're talking tomorrow. So this is just me sharing what is.
Did you hear her say she has a lot of influence? That's really the bottom line in this. Because when you look at any of these companies' income disclosure statements, the majority of people are not making any money. And so they want to tap into other people's communities, followers, friends, family members, so that they can use that person as a doorway. And in fact, Eric Worre teaches that. That's not a compliment, Eric, in case you happen to see this. That is, you're using people to get what you want, which is access to their network. That's why they call it network marketing. That's how they justify that. It's really gross because we're talking about people. And it's not really, in my opinion, about that person that you're trying to tap into their network. It's about how that network is going to benefit her paycheck. It's really gross.
Working and what I'm doing, it's fresh and like God is moving on it. And now is your shift, like with what we've been saying. The shift has happened. Are you going to jump in? Are you going to start sharing with people and being excited and knowing that this is different now? It doesn't have to be like it was last year, last week, or even yesterday. Today's a new day, and you can develop business builders, people you never thought would be able to do it. And the ones that I've already had on my team, they're already sharing. We've been getting in conversations and group chats, hand-holding more. That's been the next steps, is getting them in a system, the flow chart, and then absolutely getting on the phone with them and then helping them in chats if I need to until they've learned what to do. So this has been key for, I feel like, helping these people get going. And if they're not quite there yet, I meet them where they're at. I try to invite them to our culture to get on our calls. But if they're not quite there yet, I have patience, but I keep planting the seeds for that.
She must be exhausted. She's talking about getting them plugged into the systems, but then holding their hands. So what that means is her new people that she recruits, they're going to start having these conversations. And then the new person is going to message her and say, okay, this is what they said. And then she's going to say, okay, well, this is what you should say. That person is going to send what she says, probably copy and paste it. And then they're going to come back. Okay, this is what my friend said. And she's going to say, okay, now follow up with this. They're going to go back and forth. So she's doing that if she has, I don't know how many new people she's recruiting or whatever, but yeah, it's really weird because one, that requires a lot of time. But two, this is supposed to be a business. We know that it's not. It's the ultimate grift, in my opinion, when it comes to MLMs. But you're not treated like a business owner because you don't own your own business. That's not how that works. So,
all right. So I'm going to move on now. I want Deborah to come sit by me. Come in, Deborah. So listen, y'all. Deborah was the second person to join in with me. I didn't even cast crazy vision for her at first. I didn't. Nope. She's a farmer. She's amazing. And but guess what? She is going places, and she will be diamond.
Yes, I will.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to say.
Why does this feel so awkward? Maybe it's because she's interviewing them or interviewing her, live while she's sitting next to her. But this just feels really awkward all of a sudden. I mean, maybe it's been awkward for you guys this whole time. I don't know. But this part especially for me.
Asking you some questions, and I want y'all to be ready to write down because she has got some gold to drop. All right. So Deborah, first of all, tell us how long you've been doing this and why did you start? Did you start for the products or the business?
Well, this is my 2-year Plexus anniversary this month. So I've been doing this for 2 years. I definitely started for the products.
All right. So tell me about your personality and what your mindset was at first regarding recruiting and business builders. And
Okay. So I'm definitely an introvert. So I love being with family and friends, love talking with them. I was definitely nervous about talking with people I didn't know, getting on the telephone. That was a huge thing for me. And honestly, business building, that was not even on my radar to begin with. I just wanted to help all the people.
Well, that was good though. Yeah. But did you hear her? What she said? Introvert. You know what? Let me tell you this because she did mention this. She was not on social media. We had to help her get on social media just because she had already talked to a couple of her family members and they were not ready at first. And so I remember we helped her with all of that. She wasn't on social media. She didn't have a lot of people she talked to at her church, maybe a small group, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And already talked to all her family members. They all said no. And so y'all, it's like all these things that a lot of people might say as excuses. She got a bunch of no's. Her family didn't want to do it. She wasn't on social media. She's an introvert. She's shy. She didn't want to talk to new people. And she overcame it all. Okay. So number 3, why did you feel, okay, so let me back up. I remember that you had said at one point, on many occasions, actually in coaching, you felt like it was hard to get business builders. You were getting a lot of customers. You felt like it was hard to get business builders. It was hard to find or develop anybody who'd want to do this. So why did it feel so hard at first?
Right. I guess because when I came in, I had this great story with my health. Like I knew these products worked. They were doing amazing things in my body. I was totally going after that, but I didn't really have a business story, honestly. And so it was fear that held me back. I did not build my belief in that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the main reason.
Well, what did you start doing to change that?
So I started because Michelle and Angela were telling me, look, you need to hyper focus on business building. So you need to watch videos, you need to watch diamond docs, you need to listen to diamonds and what are they saying? What are they doing? Do what is working for the ones that are where you want to be. And so honestly, I mean, I didn't have all the time in the world. I literally, when I would brush my teeth at night, I'd be watching a video. When I was in the car going to my pantry to deliver food, I was watching a video, so it was in those times I was just drinking in, how to build business builders.
Drinking in. That's the way that she describes that. You guys know what it makes me think of, because I know you're thinking the same thing. It's the indoctrination for me. This person wasn't really interested, and all of a sudden she's become interested because these two people said, you should really think about this. Also, I don't know how they define business builders. I would venture to say that it probably means that the person you recruit is also recruiting and building a team. I could be completely wrong. So if you were a part of this company, feel free to correct me in the comments. But I bet that's what that is.
I want y'all to get this. She developed skills, but she also was willing to do the mindset work. There was a lot of mindset stuff. She did not believe she could do this. She did not believe anybody'd want to come in. And did you hear what she said? She was coachable. So anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit more, probably a little bit more in a minute, but you're amazing to work with. So next question would be, tell me, so again, you felt like you had a small circle. Mm-hmm. You would have had 200 or maybe it was 100 friends on Facebook. You had friended Ruben's friends because he was on Facebook. She had reached all of her people, y'all. Okay. She was like, I've gone through all my people.
I printed out the list, my Facebook list. Michelle told me to do that. I went through every single person.
She told me this. And not going to talk to anybody I don't know. I'm not going to go in the supermarket and be talking to people. Okay, so tell me, what did you do?
Well, I realized I had to start friending people on Facebook. So I just began friending friends of friends. And I stepped out of my comfort zone, y'all, because that was not in my comfort zone. And I would be like looking on walls of people. And if they were saying something about feeling sick or having allergies, I started getting in their inbox, and it was a voice clip. And I would just be very real. And, that's how I found people. That's how I connected. And I did make sure that I got on people's wall too, and just tried to start conversations. And I'm doing that more as well now.
So
the audacity. Can you guys imagine saying something about not feeling good, and then all of a sudden you get a comment or a cold message from somebody that you've never talked to, and they're sending you a voice message like y'all are besties? Hey, I saw that you have allergies. I saw that you aren't feeling good. Have you ever thought about this? That is so gross. Oh my God.
she has turned, and I remember sending you the video Brittany did about turning cold market to warm. She watched that over and over, and she started implementing it. So she legit turned cold market warm. But I will also say, she has gone in stores now and talked to people. She has stepped out of her comfort zone, and that has been huge in what's transpired here.
Yeah.
And okay, so
that reminds me, sometime last year, my friend that does my hair, her and I were talking. She said, hey, somebody approached me at the grocery store, and through the language that this person used, I was able to tell her what company it was. That's how these companies are. They each have their own kind of culty language. And through the language, you're able to identify what company it is, even though they try really hard to not disclose that on social media, because what they don't want is for you to go to Google and type in the name of the company. And you know why that might be? Because you're going to find anti-MLM content along with the company information. So like if you type in Prove It, if you type in any of the leaders within that company, you're probably going to find videos. Same thing with Plexus. Same thing with really any company. If you find the name of the company and you type in Google, you're probably going to find anti-MLM videos on it. They don't want that. That's why they're so secretive about it. That's why they want to have the conversation in Messenger versus out in the open for everybody to see it. That's why companies like Optavia say being on program, being, on fat loss. That's why they talk about ultra health. They say these things because they don't want people going to Google, especially Optavia, because prior to, last year, I want to say, I don't know that there were really any anti-MLM videos on Optavia, which, by the way, I have another one coming. But anyways, that's why they do that. It's very culty. It's very much out of the bite model.
What did you do different what do you think you're doing different now than you were at first, before?
So what am I doing different now? Okay. So one thing I'm definitely doing is reaching out about the business more, because I've realized, I for so long I was reaching out about product, and that's good, but that wasn't building my business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know why? Because you only make a small commission on the product sales, whereas you make more commission or bonuses, or however the company chooses to, in my opinion, hide that. You make more off of recruiting people. Whether they get a bonus for signing them up or not, they're going to get paid when that person sells anything to anybody and or recruits people. And the emphasis on business builders makes me feel like we want business builders because they're also going to be recruiting.
So I was afraid to talk to my product users about the business. So now I'm talking to my product users, but I'm specifically looking for people that I think would be good at at the business, and I'm literally voice clipping them, and friending them and getting on their wall. And so it's intentional. I'm being very intentional about
So you're stalking them online. Oh my God.
going after business builders.
And how have you been developing new business builders? Y'all, she's gotten 2 silvers even just this month. She's popping out silvers, as Michelle would say, sneezing them out. So what do you feel like has helped you with developing business builders or attracting new ones? What has changed? Because like, instead of it just being they're saying, yes, I'm interested, but they're actually doing it. They're sharing as well.
Right. So yeah, let's see. What am I? Yeah, they were the product users. I've been helping them. Really what I've been doing, I think, with my people is I've just been building their belief in the product, number one. And some of them are saying, well, you know, I want to get results first. So, I do understand that because I said that. But I am really just building their belief. I am, you know, trying to help them understand as they start to share that, you know, reaching out with a business from the beginning. That's something I didn't really think about. It took me a long time to think about that. So I have been doing that, and then getting them, of course, the 101 and getting them.
And let me interject this, but also she's gotten them in chats with me. So we have been doing more hand holding together.
Yes.
So all of these people, this is something that you were doing some, but we've been doing it a lot more.
Right.
We've started really doing this more
calls
with people, seeing that there's success with that help, even if she's doing follow-ups with them. And I don't have to answer every single time, but there's accountability in me being there. And then I'm able to help when she needs me to. So, and I've noticed this about Deborah. I don't know. I'm sure you have noticed this, but she has grown so much in belief and in confidence. And I told her this right before we got on here. So this is not new to you, but she has grown so much, just her posture and how she's saying things. So, you know, people are going to see that and be drawn to that. And I wanted to ask, how do you feel like you've built that confidence and belief?
Definitely, just again, going over videos and watching, because some of it comes from just not knowing what to say. Sometimes if you're so scared you don't know what to say, you've got to watch the video. And I've literally written down word for word either a voice clip Angela has given me or something on a video, literally word for word, and then have said that to somebody that I've gotten, you know, on the phone with, or a voice clip to somebody.
So she's using scripts. And the big difference in what she's doing now is she is talking to people, talking to the product users, as she said just a couple minutes ago, about recruiting. And because she was hesitant to recruit at first, she's talking to them immediately, it sounds like, about recruiting right off the bat, because the distributors are the customers.
So it is really just building your confidence and excitement. If you don't believe in the product, you need to start looking at stuff to build your belief in the product, because it will come through.
If you don't believe in the product, you need to start watching stuff to believe in the product. The product either works or it doesn't. The claims that these companies make are insane. They are not backed by legitimate studies. And I can only imagine some of the messages that this gal was sending to people that she was seeing them post about being sick or having allergies or whatever. I can only imagine the health claims in private messages.
Believe or you don't believe.
And let me ask you this, because I know what your answer may have been at the beginning, but how far are you going to go with this?
Oh, diamond. 100%.
Do you see this belief?
100%. I'll be there.
She knows she's going to be diamond. And I tell everybody that now, because her belief, she knows it. It's going to be so. And your vision has expanded.
Yes.
Because she's asked, and a lot of the things we've gone through mastermind and different things, I think too probably helped with developing why am I remember you saying you didn't know what your why was. And now you know what your
Yeah,
why is.
yeah.
So y'all, this is awesome. And I know we don't have a lot of time, so we'll wrap it up. But
The why situation, in my opinion, is another form of manipulation, specifically emotional manipulation, because just like I was talking about at the beginning of the video, wanting to know what people's goals are and why they want those goals, whether it's I want to pay off a credit card or whatever, going on vacation with their family, taking their kids to Disneyland, whatever. Those are all tools to emotionally manipulate that person back into working. The why is the same kind of thing. It's just different terminology. You know, why are you doing this? And there's usually this really emotionally charged reason that they develop over time. And it's just because it's going to get them back into working and doing what that leader wants them to do. So all of it is emotional manipulation. And the really sick part about it is that it's all to benefit the upline.
I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
So this is going to be a good one. What advice would you give a new person just starting?
Don't join. Cancel the auto ship. Get away from multi-level marketing. It's not going to be different in the next company. It's not going to be, you're not going to make any money in this company. Their income disclosure statement shows that, by the way. And, you know, get out before you become indoctrinated. Get out before you start using the same culty language that you will see behind the scenes with these companies. Get out before you lose yourself. Get out before all of your friends and your family start ghosting you because they don't want to get pitched every time they're around you. That's what I would say.
Okay, this is my biggest one. Y'all be coachable, because I wanted to know what is going to get me to the next rank. What is going to get me moving forward? So
Recruiting.
I would be asking Angela and Michelle, what do I do? And I would say, look at this, message I'm sending. What do you think about it? Does it sound right? Is that where, I'm not moving forward? So definitely, be coachable, ask questions to your upline, show them your messages, ask them how you're doing with, your reach outs, tell them how many reach outs. I mean, just be asking questions. That's huge. And then when they say, hey, watch this video, y'all watch it, watch it. If they say, here, do this, do it, because they've already been where you are, and that's going to help you get to where you want to be. So 100% be coachable. And just know there's going to be some no's and be okay with it, but there's going to be yeses as well. And build the confidence. So, yeah.
And I want to ask, what advice would you give if somebody is in the place where you had felt before, I can't find business builders or feel stuck? What would you say? I know we've probably gone over some of it, but if there's anything else that you haven't said that you can think of.
I would say, honestly, you need to check your mindset. You need to see where you are in your mindset, because that's where the brakes were put on for me. I remember where I was. I don't remember what day it was, but I was out by my pecan tree. It has bees in that tree. And I remember when I had the mind shift change, it was like I had been praying and asking the Lord to help me. And it was like, I just had the shift, and I knew I could do it. So you need to speak over yourself. I mean, Michelle has been saying this over and over and over again. Y'all, you got to speak over yourself, speak over your business. Be careful what you're allowing in your mind. Don't let the stinking thinking in. You've got to, take every thought captive and just allow the Holy Spirit to give you thoughts and God's word, speak God's word over you. So that's what happened with me, and it totally changed. That's when the major shift happened. And actually, Angela noticed it. It was only a couple days later, and she was like, something's different.
Yes.
So,
you know what's crazy? No amount of mindset shifts, personal development, indoctrination events is going to change the business model. The mindset stuff that is thrown around by these people in these companies is just buying time that person is going to continue working, whether that's cold messaging or whatever. In my opinion, I feel like they just use that mindset shift and working on your mindset and, what are you feeding your brain as a way to, again, feed into the toxic positivity, but also to manipulate that person into continuing to work, even though they're probably not making any money and they're losing money or they're losing money.
I was like, I could hear it in your voice. And this is what's funny is my husband, he hears a lot of times me walking through the house, listening to voice clips. And there's been times where he said, let's pray for them right now. There's a mindset thing that needs to shift. But then this time I played that message, whatever it was you had said to me. He went, wow, you can hear it in her voice. I was like, I know. So even my husband recognized it, y'all. So I just want to encourage every single one of you, as before we jump off here, you can do this. You absolutely have everything it takes to be able to develop and create business builders, whether it's, attracting them to yourself first and reaching out, or even following through with the steps that it takes and hand holding and the 3-way calls, all the things. Okay. We have tools, we have resources, and we will absolutely help you. Reach out if you have a question, and remember that we take ownership for ourselves. So don't ever look at, and it's very easy. And I'll say this because sometimes we want to find some reason to blame, you know what I mean? But let's take ownership, but don't feel like a victim. Take ownership of where we're at and say, okay, I need more business builders. I need to change this. No matter what your upline or your sideline or downline's doing, you have everything it takes. You can she's been finding diamond docs on her own. I'm like, girl, I need to go find me some diamond docs after talking to her. Like, y'all, she's been going and looking up and doing this on her own. Yes, I've been sending videos some here and there, but Deborah's been digging in by herself. And I'm going to encourage you to do that because you can do this. You absolutely have what it takes. And together we are doing this. The shift has happened. Like we've already said, we're jumping on this train to bring people health, wellness, and freedom. And so they can also turn around and do the same for others. So that is our call. Thanks for joining us, and blessings to everybody. Goodbye.
Good night.
That was awkward. Let's talk about their income disclosure statement really quickly. I'm going to include it in the video description as well, and I'll probably put it up here on the screen so you guys can see it. The top 1%, and this is from 2020. I think it's their most recent. I was searching. This was the most recent that I could find. The top 1% of brand ambassadors made an average of $37,553 annually. That does not include expenses. It doesn't include attending events, any expenses that they would use, whether it's their phone, internet, all of that stuff, let alone the cost of the product that they're taking. 50% of the top 1% made more than $14,875 annually. The top 10% of brand ambassadors made an average of $5,081 annually. Again, does not include expenses. 50% of the top 10% made more than $960 for the year. Guys, this is the top 10% of the company, meaning there's 90% that are not making that. And the top 10% making $5,081 annually, imagine what the 90% are making. You know what I'm saying? In 2020, an average of 14.4% of all brand ambassadors enrolled at least one active brand ambassador and earned income, excluding retail profits. The average earnings of all brand ambassadors in 2020 was $544. So that doesn't really back up the freedom that they were talking about. That doesn't really back up them wanting to develop the why or finding out people's goals so that they can emotionally manipulate them, when that income disclosure statement shows that the majority of people are barely making any money When the average of all brand ambassadors is $544, I guarantee you the majority of the people in this company are paying to be a part of this company. And the reason that I'm saying that is because if the average earnings of all brand ambassadors was $544, I guarantee you they are spending way more than that on their products every single year. So they're paying this company to be a part of it. And it's really sad. Really sad. So again, shout out to the person that sent this to me. I really appreciate you. And if you guys want to send me anything, there's instructions on how to do that in the video description. You guys are amazing. And guys, don't join an MLM. There are so many other ways that you can make income. Joining an MLM, it's 2023. It makes no sense. You're going to lose money or not make any at all. You're going to lose time. It's going to damage relationships. Just don't do it. Okay. If you loved today's video, feel free to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It helps me get the message out to more people. And if you want to get notified anytime I post anything, click the little bell notification so that you don't miss anything. I appreciate you guys, especially those of you that watch all the way through. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, everybody.